All right, sounds good. Um, Hi everybody. My name is Eric. And for my uh, MC Stuco final project, I built a Mandelbrot set viewer in Minecraft. So right now I'm standing in a super flat world filled with white concrete, but I can right click on this nether star and it will actually scan a chunk of the Mandelbrot set. You could see here. That it can work in basically real time. I also have an option. Sometimes it's kind of tedious to right click in each of these chunks. So you can right click on this thing, and that will just auto scan whatever chunk you're standing in. Um, so the Mandelbrot set is just like a fractal. I probably am not going to get into the math of how it works, but it's a fractal that's really interesting to mathematicians because as a description, it's generally pretty simple, but it doesn't like smooth out like you would expect with most shapes. If you were to zoom in really close, all the lines would look very smooth. But with the Mandelbrot set, um, no matter how far you zoom in, it'll just keep being complex geometry. And so it's really interesting. You can look up videos of people zooming in on it. And so I wanted to sort of capture some of that in Minecraft. So this is all vanilla. It's running just like one data pack that I wrote over 3 days because I wanted to turn my fun escapist Minecraft Stuco into a nightmarish math hell for some reason, and so that's what I decided to do with my time. Um, so I'm gonna just show off some of the controls. Everything is in my hotbar here, and it's just right click to use. Um, so I can right click to clear the map, and you can see I have the auto chunk scanning thing on, so it'll sort of rescan. And every time I clear the map, it'll sort of reset to this sort of overview of the entire Mandelbrot set here. I can zoom in or out on a certain point by just being above that point, and then just right clicking on this diamond to zoom in. You can see here I've zoomed in twice, so that's zooming in on the set by a factor of 4. Now you can start to see if I sort of go around and fly out and explore more of this. Um, some of the more complicated geometry. I can also zoom out if I wanted to as well. But before I do that, the last thing that I can do is sort of increase the amount of detail. So the way the math works for the Mandelbrot set is you can sort of just do more of the same math over and over again to get a more and more accurate picture of what it looks like. Um, so here the black points are the ones that are in the Mandelbrot set, and then every point that is colored something other than black is a point that's not in the Mandelbrot set, and then the sort of coloring is based on uh, how quickly the point explodes off to infinity under like the math that I do. So the colors change when you do more math to it. I sorry, I'm probably doing a bad explanation, but I do not want to get into the specifics of this. But here you can see I've upped the detail from my default, which is 16, up to 64, and sort of all the colors are switching. But um, when I rescan these chunks, you get sort of a more accurate and a more conservative estimate of what the Mandelbrot set is. Um, so this uses a pretty good number generator, math library sort of thing that I wrote myself. So you can zoom in pretty far and get some pretty interesting images. What I did here was just zoom into a random point off the coast of the Mandelbrot set, and I believe this is going to be a really tiny little copy of the Mandelbrot set that's hidden within the Mandelbrot set. Um, and so if I just sort of let this render out, you can see the same sort of shape. But yeah, this whole thing is one data pack, split among. I looked it up. It was, I think, 26 MC function files in total. I wrote about 1,200 lines of Minecraft commands for this, um, which it was. It's a lot, but it was surprisingly less than I thought this project would take. Um, and so I'm pretty happy about that. But there, my favorite statistics about this project are just how many commands it executes, because basically the way that you calculate if a point is in this set is you just do the same like computation over and over again. And so if I have this running on the maximum amount of detail, this will try to run about 200,000 Minecraft commands. for uh, every single block that it generates. So you can see here, every time it runs over one of these blocks, it's running 200,000 commands, which means that if I were to, if this were to, this is slowing down the tick speed right now to about one tick every 3/4 of a second. But if the tick speed were to be like regular, like it was running 20 ticks per second, this would this would be running about 60 million Minecraft commands per second, which I think is just really funny because it was just a stupid number. Um, I can This does take a little bit to render, so the sort of amount of detail. The reason why I have this in was because originally I built it in the highest amount of detail, and you can see it just takes forever to load chunks at a time. Um, so there are like sort of 5 levels of detail that you can switch from. This is a firework in the middle. It's just a regular firework. I get really bored waiting for this stuff to render, so I was just flying around with Elytra. Um, but you can see this is just a random point that I zoomed in on, and there's all sorts of complexity here. Um, I'm probably not going to render out the whole thing. Instead, I can just show you guys a couple screenshots that I took earlier, and then I think that's sort of everything that I have to show you. Um, so this is the whole Mandelbrot set. This was like my first successful picture, I think, or I think maybe no, this one was my first successful picture. Um, that I sent to everyone. I was like, guys, look, I got it working, and everyone was like, oh, Eric, we don't care, and so that was pretty cool. And then, just like all my roommates are really sick of me talking about Minecraft command blocks. And then this was picture I took, and then these are sort of, this was like a really zoomed in point, way off the coast of the Mandelbrot set. Um, and then this was just like another point, sort of zoomed out a little bit more so you can see some of the fractal structure of it. And this was just another render that I just took right before this class started. Um, but yeah, I think that's everything. Uh, Thank you, I guess.
That's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, the whole thing, I had to basically implement a little tiny ALU into like the MC functions, like a little tiny thing that could do addition and multiplication, because I had to write a custom implementation of like decimal numbers. That was, I think, the hardest part of this, was that I couldn't. The Mandelbrot set exists on the spectrum between like -2 and 2 in the real and complex numbers, and so in order to zoom in, you need a lot of decimal points. And Minecraft, this all runs using the scoreboard. It's using 63 different scoreboard variables, um, and basically the reason why is that each number is represented using 6 scoreboard variables. I use the bottom 16 bits of 4 scoreboard variables to store the 64 bits of decimal precision, and then uh, I have 1 scoreboard variable for like the whole number part of it, and then 1 scoreboard variable for the sign bit. Um, and then I had to custom implement. Basically, when you do it like that, then implementing multiplication turns into just like a big polynomial expansion, that is just a lot of copy and pasting. I'm really happy that I used an MC func that I started switching to an MC function. Originally, I was going to do this in command blocks, but the ability to copy paste was just overwhelmingly helpful here. So yeah.
That's me. Yeah, I'll go. All right. I have to use Discord because I don't use it that much. All right, here we go. All right. Did that? Can you see the screen? All right.
Yeah, we can see it just.
All right. So as much math or Minecraft skill as the previous one. What I did is one of my favorite games is Breath of the Wild. I decided to make a town in it, the Terry Town, which it's a really cool side quest of. Yeah. So when I was building it, I realized that it's a circle town, and Minecraft is mainly made of squares, so it was a little bit hard. That was my voice lagging a little bit. I don't know how to fix that. Oh. How do I do that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just turned it down to the lowest, so maybe that'll help. Okay. So, like I was saying, it's a square town. Or a circle town in a square environment. So, I can just take you a little more. Some of you guys may be familiar with it, but yeah, I'll just take you a little more. There's not much to see. Yeah. And then it's where we can buy armor, stone, buy some ore. And then this is where you buy your arrows, but those despawn and get really. I didn't put bolts in there, yeah. I have some random villagers about. They usually go on the houses, even though the houses is really complete yet. Yeah, and then you can zoom out, get a little overview of it. Yeah, so that's mine. I can show you what the houses inside the houses look like. Nothing much in there, but especially since you can't make thin walls in Minecraft, so they're pretty cramped. Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it. I don't know if you guys have any questions.
Who's Bolson?
Oh, it was one of the villagers, because all the villagers have like a son last name. It's kind of like a joke in the quest line. So, someone asked in the chat. Yeah, so that's about it. Hope you guys liked it.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at architecture too. I do agree that it's kind of annoying sometimes that Minecraft walls aren't thin, so you can build something really cool, but then the inside is kind of cramped or just isn't as nice as you would think it would be.
It's a Jadamasi, but yeah, I can show it. It's only about gonna be 50% done right now, but I'll I'll do it anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right, can you see it? All right. Okay. Also, if my video starts lagging, it's because MacBooks and Optifine do not. All right, but anyway, my project is I'm building a Summoner's Rift from League of Legends. I'm sure most of us play League of Legends. Um, so yeah, um, it's only about 50-ish% done. Um, most of the difficulty is like trying to outline like how all the walls and stuff are supposed to fit. Sort of like how I'm doing this is I'm kind of just like looking at I guess Google Images and like sort of trying to eyeball it. But yeah, at least I can show you I guess this blue base 'cause that's the only thing that's really done. Right. Right. So side as a tower. There's 3 towers for each lane. I don't really have any major details on the towers besides their I guess their whatever their attack beam sort of thingy is. Supposed to get some like staff or something, but whatever. Yeah, there's the Nexus towers and there's the inhibs and the Nexus is a lot bigger. At least from the I guess art I've seen, it's supposed to be a lot bigger than like pretty much every other structure besides the walls. And this is the fountain area. Based on pictures, it's supposed to be raised up, and it's like an entirely different like platformy area. So that's why I was going for here. The shopkeeper is a blacksmith. I thought it fit best. I realized that well, for the animals and like the I guess the monsters, I realized I have to name tag them or do something like these lines. So I'll probably figure that out some other time. Yeah. Let's see. What else can I show? Yeah. At least now I have only one side planned or like at least mapped out, and this is like what I planned for. I guess the wall details and stuff, and these areas here would be where the I call it the lane towers. No, that's where those are gonna go, and there's the river. I wasn't sure what to do about Baron because I believe Baron's supposed to be here. I was thinking like a wither skeleton or no, a wither, right? Yeah, I was thinking the wither there, but now we have to box it in somehow so it doesn't like destroy everything. And I guess if I wasn't going for looks, I'd put wither, some like bedrock cage there, and dragon like a bedrock cage here. So, yeah, that's honestly all I really have to show. Because yeah, didn't realize until yesterday that the monsters despawn and stuff. Um, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I like to see the completed thing. I'm pretty excited to see how it's gonna look. But yeah, it's probably a little tedious to have to go on like Google Images and then have to like build everything accordingly. But like I said, it's paying out to be pretty cool, and it'd be nice to like if you could mod it and then try to play League in Minecraft. But
Yeah, unfortunately, it's only on a single player server, so only I could transfer it. I don't know if there's a way to like.
I mean, that would be like a pretty nightmarish project for like a term project. Maybe like it'd be a fun project for like the future if you're ever bored, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just spawning them from like the eggs before. It's supposed to be, but it's like slightly off, so and it won't like at the end be. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, let's do it, Dan.
Alright, so I worked on this with Charm or Jacob.
What's up?
So alright, let me share my screen. Hello? I don't think I was talking that loud. Alright. So we made kind of like a pirate themed castle sort of thing. Can you guys see this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we made like a pirate kind of castle thing. I don't know. Show you around. Got like, so this is like, I don't know, bridge thing. Got like a cannon there. I don't know, the bridge like fell apart. And then we have like, this is the main entrance to the castle. So we have like I don't know, some just different areas in the castle and stuff. Got like targets and stuff. This is like the entrance. In here we have like dining hall, like barrels and stuff. Kitchen area. And then up here we have like, I don't know, some beds. And like, then we got like the throne room over here. Like, yeah. And we got like a map room. Like, I don't know, nice lookout area. Look out into the courtyard. And then bedroom area for like the king or whatever. Got like balcony and stuff.
Don't forget the basement.
Yeah, yeah. You got like pirate flags and stuff. Main
Honestly,
town.
the walls were like the biggest part. The walls and the bridge took the longest.
Oh yeah.
Building, it doesn't look like I mean, it looks pretty big, but this took like
a while.
like 9 hours just to like complete the shell, and then interior was another like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And detailing, and it still needs a lot more detailing. Like it's
Exactly.
nowhere near done.
We got like treasure room in here. Random pirate stuff. And then this takes you like back into the castle. And so then this is back at like the main entrance. Like we got the hall over here again. And then so yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is like the dock where they like get in. We didn't get to build any boats or anything. But yeah. That's everything, I guess.
It looks really cool. I like the detail and stuff. Something
Yeah.
I'd suggest is maybe like using a texture pack. Like could definitely like give it a little bit more of a pirate theme. I'm almost sure like if you just look up pirate theme like texture pack or resource pack, you'll have something that will just give it a little bit like better detail. But that's like a pretty quick fix. But other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. And I'm excited to see the finished product.
Alright.
I say it Magus, but apparently it's supposed to be pronounced Magus. It's fine. So my project actually ended up way bigger than I thought it would be. It's the MWPSB headquarters from Psycho Pass, if you've watched that show. I did not realize this would end up this big, but so I wasn't able to do much of the inside of the headquarters itself because it ended up a very large project. Huh?
No, I was gonna say that's massive.
Yeah. I only really got the lobby done on the inside. This whole project consisted of me looking at like 4 screenshots from the show that were like barely enough to be able to complete the whole thing, because it is very hard to find references for it on the show because the show is not really based on location type things, but I made do with what I had. And the fun thing is I hit the world limit when I was building this. I was planning on the top building like a helicopter because there's a helicopter pad, but I didn't have any more room to do that. So this is I was not expecting that to happen, but it did. And it's one thing that I find really fun is just falling down, looking at the side because it just looks cool when the bottom loads in. And that's about it on this. It was very, very, it took forever to do. It probably would have been faster with World Edit, but I don't know how to use that and I didn't really have the time to figure out how to use it. So yeah, that's my project.
Wait, so you placed every single piece by hand?
No, I used like the what's it called? I used the Minecraft commands to do like cloning and filling stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't use World Edit to like mirror. It was a pain to get this. This is exactly symmetrical hexagonally, so that was a pain to do. But I did like once I got to this thinnest part of the building, I cloned it all the way up. As you can see, I noticed there was remnants of my cloning or over here because I just realized I forgot to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, I was also gonna like add if you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you want to evade the build limit, so this is in a super flat world, right?
Yeah.
So like if you just started it in an amplified world or even in a regular world and you just like started it like at a very low level, you would have like higher like how do I put it? For what? For amplified? It's still 256, but what if you start underground? Like, well, actually, does that matter? Oh, okay. So I guess yeah, it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that and I'm like, I wish I could have done it then because I did like sure, I don't want to make the building any taller, but I did want to add like a helicopter at the top. Or it's not like a hovercraft type. I don't know exactly what they're called in the show, but it's not actually a helicopter. Yeah. Probably might try to do that when I get to that, but like I have spent over 10 hours on this and I have other finals to deal with, so yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty base idea.
I would have used a texture pack or something, or used like the other. I'm forgetting the thing that makes it look really nice. But
Shaders.
yeah, the shaders. But I don't have the energy to figure. I for some reason just can't figure out how to use them properly, and I also don't know how much storage that would take up on my computer because I have other games taking up a large amount of storage on this computer. Wait, we don't have to submit a video if we did it now, right? Because you're recording. Okay, thank you. It's fine for me. I literally really have trouble recording myself, so it's probably better to do it now.
To share, just go like in the voice connect. You see it says voice connected right there, and it gives you the option of video or screen. So just click screen, and then there, if you have Minecraft open already, you just click on your Minecraft screen, and then you hit go live. It'll probably ask you like how many frames per second or whatever. So, and also,
Okay, sure.
yeah.
Let me see if my internet is good enough, but hopefully it should work. Single player, 30 frame. I'll probably try like 480 because does this work to anyone? Can anybody see it?
I can see it.
It's working, right? Okay, so if everyone can see it, I'll start to explain. Basically, this is one of my work. It's primarily designed for to be like as friendly to survival game as possible, and we call it the Stuco Universal Tree Farm, or abbreviated to Stuco UTF version 0.4. Wait, am I still connected?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, how you use it is you press a button here, and we go to the top. Or like in survival we cannot, but we can just see over here, like how it can harvest, like push the tree apart. So if we were to like grab something like a sapling, let us get into the tree farm first. We are like from the outside. So if we were to climb in and keep planting the tree, you'll see that it keeps growing and keeps being pushed. And that's how I use it. And if you fly higher, you'll see that how it works is it pushes the tree forward and towards the side into an explosion chamber, gets blown up into wood, and then collected from the below, like over here. It harvests 5 types of trees. You can see that it works with jungle tree. You can definitely try spruce if we want. And also, not here. Yeah, here. Also, like birch works as well in the same way. For the other 2 types of trees, we need some new settings for it. So basically, for oak tree, because like there are 2 types of oak, like the smaller ones and the bigger ones. And the big ones have a side branch. So in order to make sure they work, we can like press a button to send the flying machine downward. I'm still connected, right? Okay, that's good. I'm quite concerned about my internet, to be honest. Yeah. So basically, like the flying machine, as you have just saw, send a block here downward, so that the oak tree cannot grow like too tall, so it cannot grow side branches. And if you fly over here, you'll see that like the flying machine thing also sends a signal like a short impulse here, all the way to this piston. So it pushes the redstone block over and extends these 2 pistons here. So the this like sea lantern cannot be removed by forward pushing. So then like after switching to these, we can like start to farm the oak tree without worrying about it damaging the machine. And then finally, last but not least, we have the acacia mode. That like size. So block or activates over these extenders, like signal extenders, or I forgot what they're called. Yeah, repeaters, instead of these like minecart rails. So then it delays the sideways, so the sides are being pushed out later than the middle one, and that's how it can harvest acacia tree. So let's see. I'll do take freeze here. So if you were to plant an acacia tree here, take rate 2, take step, yeah, like 40, I think. So if the tree is going to grow, we can see like how this thing works. So it pushes forward, and left and right sides like go forward once each time. So if we were to wait and look at it again, we'll see that. Wait. I've basically time forward, then the left pushes forward, side put in and then forward. So that's how it's kind of dealing with the page. Originally, this kind of like structure came from El Mango, so I'm not the one who thought of it, but I implemented this kind of setup and designed my own circuit on the back. Okay, so that's how it like cycles these few types of trees, and then we'll look at some other like unique designs of the tree farm. So like the circuit part, I think it's pretty straightforward. So it activates the redstone line. So first it activates the observer, which pushes the first stage of the piston, and then the redstone line activates the second stage. So if we were to put a redstone block somewhere, let me see. Let me see, where should we activate this thing? Yeah. So if we were to activate the farm over here, like we'll see it pushes forward like that, like the double extender. This is not intended. I hope it doesn't break the farm. Anyway. Yeah, it's still good. So that is how the double extender works. And also on the back, one of the most unique thing I think is like the safety. So if you look at the tree farm, you'll see there's a flying machine that can like go downward and upward. Think about what if you activate the switch to oak mode thing during like while your machine is running. Like for 99% of the tree farm I see in YouTube, this is gonna make your tree farm break because like the side pushers, the double extenders will collide with the flying machine. Okay, so let's try this on my tree farm and see how it works. We turn on the farm first. We see the double extenders are working. Now we're gonna activate the mode switch. So we press this button. You'll see that the tree farm temporarily stops to allow the flying machine to like switch mode, and then it resumes. Like this is because when I activate this oak mode switching button, like this delayer over here will activate to like turn off the tree farm, and only until it finishes will it retracts the observer and resumes farming. So that perfectly avoids all kinds of like colliding. So like no matter how you play with it, this tree farm is basically not going to break unless you like mine blocks or place down new blocks to block it or whatever. Another thing to show for the farm is the bone meal loader. So here, let me fly from the outside. So basically, like there's like a shulker unloader over here, so that it never. So that's the old shulker ones, and for chests you can kind of access from here or from the below. Like you can actually access them from standing here. So in here there are like shulkers after shulkers of bone meals. They load into the machine, like here and here, so you don't run out of them. And in case you do run out of shulkers, let me show you how it should work. It will. No. Like here there'll be like a ringing thing here. I'm not sure if the sound is recorded into the streaming, but if you ever run out of shulker, the farm would start to like ring the bell and remind you time to like fill up the shulker boxes. Okay, never mind. I'll patch that up later. And finally, here will be like a collection system, like a sorting thing. Those are like sorted out sticks, and these are like the logs that are like being farmed. And you can see the ratings here. The slowest one is the oak wood, which is 9,900 per hour. So almost reached my goal of 10,000 per hour for every tree type. The fastest one is like 1,700 per hour for jungle tree because it's tall. And lastly, you can hook this farm into the nether transport system, so you can go into the nether, like going to a transport and go back to the farm. And last but not least, here's like a piglin attracting thing. So if you're to place down a piglin, like let me show you guys. It will be attracted by the turtle egg and then go into the stacked minecarts and then die from like entity priming. So that's all of the features for the farm, I think. So I will probably post something like a Word download sometime in the link region later this week. And I think I'm done explaining it. Thank you guys for listening. So, any questions?
Pretty cool project. I mean, looks kind of like complicated to build, so definitely can see you put a lot of time in it. I always like automated farms. It's an interesting concept. I actually like did some in Bedrock over break, and it was so tedious that like you never want to do any redstoning in Bedrock. So
yeah, like the feature is weird. There are some cool things like portable, like the portable containers, but other than that, it's mostly pretty hard to work with.
Yeah, there's a reason they call it bug rock.
I mean, like Java is more buggy to be fair, but like some bugs are actually pretty good, like the quasi connection of the piston and the dropper, etc., or like the like several other bugs. Like Java Redstone basically works by bugs in a way. Yep, that's my favorite.